From the moment you walk into the showroom floor at Trapp Cadillac, you understand our commitment to providing a truly exceptional experience for all returning and new customers.
Our goal is to make sure you're always comfortable while understanding the entire process of getting into your new Trapp Cadillac.
When you drive a Trapp Cadillac, you know performance, bold styling, and our shared commitment to service.
One thing you can always count on here at Trapp Cadillac is our excellent service experience.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us, however you may be joining us. We appreciate it very much. And when we need to get updates from Troop C, we're very glad to have back with us Sergeant Russ Brennan. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me back on.
We appreciate it. Welcome home.
Thank you.
I know they got you traveling a lot, but man, you filling in for Tia, which is awesome, which we appreciate. Of course, she's the Troop C Public Information Officer, and Ross is the Region 2 Public Affairs Supervisor. So very glad that you're here with us. Got some exciting things happening with Troop going on, huh?
So we are actually in the process of recruiting for our upcoming cadet class 107. What we're actually going to be doing is this Friday, the 21st, is we're having an open house at Troop C. So between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., if you're interested in joining state police, we're going to have recruiters out there. We're actually going to have lunch provided as well. Different organizations within state police, like our motorcycles, SWAT, whatever it is. So if you got questions, by all means, please come on out. We're definitely going to be, recruiting for this upcoming class. It's actually going to be open to everybody. So it's not going to be just a law enforcement prior. So if you have at least, 60 hours from a college or 2 years from a post-certified law enforcement career or 3 years from military, you can apply.
Wow.
You just got to be at least 21 to apply with us. But we're going to be pushing out this class coming soon. The deadline to apply will be March 23rd. So it is coming up fast. Right. But again, if you have any questions, and if you can't make it to that open house, there's also, you can go to joinlsp.org. It has all of our qualifications on there. You can also reach out to a recruiter if you got questions. So we have different resources if you can't make it to Friday.
Very cool. And now speaking of some of those, we're excited about all of those people because it's an option for people to be able to come and do what a lot of these that just recently graduated. Yeah. I was telling you, I was seeing a lot of these with their training, with their senior officer or senior troopers being able in the field and just kind of seeing the excitement that they have about that. I was excited to announce those.
It was. And we actually, the ones that just graduated from their academy class, they were prior law enforcement in the area. Right. So they already know the area, they already know the communities, but they're actually now just working as state troopers. So they're still in that training process, riding along with some more senior troopers, kind of showing them the ropes and stuff. But it won't be too much longer. They'll be on their own.
Gotcha. One of those things at this time of year, interesting that we had the Super Bowl, and that's actually where Tia was, right?
Yeah, we were down there. So that was a pretty cool experience. We had at least over 200 troopers down there assisting with all the other state agencies and federal agencies too. So it was a big, everything went safe and well. But now we're starting to spin up for Mardi Gras too. They're starting to have meetings. In fact, that's where Tia's at now. Right. So the idea is we're going to send about 200 more troopers back down to New Orleans to help with security purposes.
And so, we look at New Orleans and what they are, of course, very large Mardi Gras there, and excited about that. We had the Super Bowl, which is different with a lot of troopers. Things were maintained very well, right?
Yeah,
Safety was managed very well. And that was a big concern, of course, right, with the events that took place on New Year's Eve. So very glad and thankful that we have those troopers that are willing to go and do that. But down here, we're the second largest Mardi Gras in the state.
Yeah, people tend to think, New Orleans when you think of Mardi Gras, but behind everywhere else in the state, Terrebonne Parish is one of the second largest Mardi Gras parades. And we have a lot of people that come. It seems like most of the people are, maybe they're from this area or they're looking for more like maybe a family-oriented type parade. Yep. But we're going to have we're going to have a lot of people down here. So we just want to make sure it's a safe carnival time. People are making those right choices. The biggest thing is, it's kind of a lot of time for drinking alcohol and going out and party. Kind of our environment down here, but you just got to be safe, right? Have that sober driver to get you back and forth to the parades. It's not the person amongst y'all who hadn't drank, the most. It's that sober driver who had nothing that causes impairment, whether drugs or alcohol. Also traveling to these parades, make sure everybody's properly restrained. No matter what seating position that you're in, make sure that you're buckled up. And also just watch for pedestrians. There's going to be a lot more foot traffic along these parade routes. So as you're driving, don't drive distracted on the cell phone. Even the passengers inside the vehicle, they can be distraction also. So make sure your full attention's out there. But even on the parade route, so biggest thing is if you see something, say something, right? So if something looks a little odd or suspicious, there's maybe an unattended backpack or whatever it might be, flag down the nearest law enforcement officer. Just let them know. That way we can figure out what's going on. Hopefully it's nothing, but it's always best just to kind of alert somebody. And if you see something suspicious, point it out. We see a lot of times too is that children maybe get misplaced from their parents or guardians. So a good idea, if you can, maybe invest in an air tag. You can take that, put that in the pocket, and be able to track them down if they do get lost. Or maybe even write down on an index card or something your personal information, your phone number, your name, contact. That way, if they are found, law enforcement officer can maybe find that card on their pockets or something and be able to reach out to you. Hopefully reunite, bring everybody back together a little bit easier.
Right. Well, and the other thing that's really important about that, if you're coming from another area and you're coming down here and you're going to be driving to the parade, find a way to make sure that you got a sober driver to get you back where you need to be.
Most definitely.
Keep everybody safe. A lot of people are coming to our area, like you mentioned, it's family friendly. There's a lot more and it's smaller, right? Smaller than New Orleans, but it's still some really large Mardi Gras experiences. And fun can be had by everyone. We got to make sure we make a plan and stay safe. We talk about it all the time. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yep.
We got to make a good plan and have that discussion about who's drinking and who's not. And making sure that we're not impaired when we're making any of these decisions.
Yeah. And let people know where you're going to be. What parade that you're going to be at, what time you're going to leave, what time you're going to come back home. That way people, kind of look out for you if you're not back by what time that you said you would be by. So again, just kind of be smart about these whole things, right? We can all do our parts to make this hopefully not to have no tragedies this season and make it enjoyable for everybody, but it just takes all of us making those right choices.
It really does. And, we talked about a little bit, of course, with Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, with First Lieutenant Blake Tabor, a little bit about some of these conceal laws and how things have changed a little bit. We just, again, if you see something that seems suspicious, say something.
Most definitely.
We got to be able to talk about it. And you guys are in full force. Mardi Gras time is one of those times where y'all are everywhere, and we're thankful.
You might not even realize it's a police officer. They might be undercover too. So there's also that out there as well. So we're definitely going to have people out there for sure.
We appreciate that. Congratulations about spending some time in New Orleans. Glad that Tia's making all the plans that she is for Mardi Gras. Glad that y'all are going to have the presence that you do. And thank you for all the travel that you're doing now. Glad to always welcome you back home. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Always appreciate it.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment and this Bayou Time. But don't go anywhere. A lot more right here on HTV.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.